You are your biggest hater. Nobody hates you more than yourself. Stop that. I said what I said. Let's go from being your biggest hater to being your biggest fan. First off, I just want to say it's not all your fault. Okay, let's be real there. From a very young age, we are domesticated. We are rewarded and punished for different actions and behaviors and achievements. And so that contributes a lot to how we interact with the world and think about ourselves today. We learn to be incredibly critical of ourselves from a very young age. The more we grow up, the worse it gets, unless we break the cycle. For the longest time, I was my own biggest hater. I was so incredibly critical of myself that I could not see the good things that were happening in my life, the things that I should have been proud of. I was always focusing on the things that I could have done more of, the things that I could have done better. That is not how I want to live my life at all. And I hope that you would also feel the same of wanting to support yourself more than anyone has ever supported you before. It takes quite a bit of time to even get into this mindset. You have to work really hard to recognize those thought patterns and that negative self-talk and focus on changing that mindset. And so that is where I would start first, is just really recognizing when those thoughts happen, because then you'll be better prepared to utilize the tools and resources. I was an avid self-sabotager. I am still working to get through this today. Again, it starts off with childhood, and the more we grow up, the more challenging experiences we go through. We think we aren't deserving of love and good things happening to us in our lives. We're not worthy enough. We're not smart enough. We're not pretty enough. We don't deserve to have nice things, nice opportunities. And when those thoughts stick with you, it is so incredibly degrading, and it really crumbles your spirit, your soul, and that is no way to live. Again, it's not totally your fault. However, it is your responsibility to change it and to fix the pattern. Something that I am starting to do is talking kinder to myself. I've mentioned in a previous video that this was something that I wanted to bring into the new year and really focus on. And something that I encourage you to do is when you're having those negative thoughts or you start to say something about yourself that's bad, picture your child self. Picture them. That is still you, just grown up a little bit. And having this realization has really impacted me. You wouldn't speak to your child self like that, would you? Of course not. If you said yes, no, but you wouldn't speak to your child self like that. Imagine them, picture them smiling and happy and not a care in the world, and so much joy in their smile and their eyes. And picture saying some of the stuff that you would say to yourself right now. And it is disgusting. It is like you want to like crawl in and just go into yourself. Like it makes me shiver. It's gross. I would never tell my child self that I'm ugly or that I'm fat. Like never, ever, ever, ever. I have heard some people using their phone screens and making their lock screen a picture of their child's self. And, every time they open their phone, because, everybody's kind of on their phones, and looking at that and seeing their picture of their child self and saying like, that's me. And when I talk negatively about myself, this is who I'm talking to. This is who I'm saying all those cruel things to. And it becomes harder to even like say that about yourself because, again, nobody wants to talk to a child that way. Also, what about your friends? Would you look at your friend and say some of those negative and cruel things to them? No, because you wouldn't be a good friend. Why are you so okay with being a good friend to other people, but then you can't even be a good friend to yourself? Make it make sense. Oh, wait. You gotta be your biggest fan. You have to be your biggest supporter. Hype yourself up. When I first started making my YouTube channel, I have like 2 separate channels, one for gaming and then this one for like my lifestyle stuff. But when I first started posting YouTube videos about like more than a year ago, I would watch my own video, I would like my own video, and then I would like comment something under the video pretending it was like somebody else. But that's was what I had to do because I wanted to be my biggest supporter. I wanted to make myself feel good and loved and worthy of support, and I did. Now it's fun seeing support from other people now and comments that are not me. So if you see any more comments, they are not me. They're not from me. I promise they are from hopefully real people. But even so, I still watch my YouTube videos and I still like them and make sure I watch them all the way through and really listen to the message that I'm saying and playing it back for myself because sometimes it's things that I need to hear again. Start being proud of the things that you have done, whether you perceive them as big or small. There is a book that I have yet to read all the way through, but it is called The Gap and the Gain, and I'm not sure who the author is. I'll try to include a picture of the book. Thor was whining, so I have to put him on my lap. Oh, here comes Valkyrie. Hello. Hi, honey. All right. Again, back to the book. So it talks about how what we do is we measure ourselves against where we think and where we want ourselves to be and the goals that we have for ourselves rather than measuring ourselves against the point at which we started. And when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, I had not even like realized that that was something I was doing. And the book puts it very much more eloquently than I did. So you'll just have to read it and see for yourself. But that is so true. I was like, why am I measuring myself against a future me who has all these things accomplished where I want to be instead of, because I'm not there yet, and that's okay. But I should be measuring myself against the me from the past and how far I've come. And that's where you should focus, is that gain instead of the gap. And that's the whole premise of the book. So definitely on my list to complete for this year. I've got to get through so many other books one at a time. I'm trying not to skip around because my brain can't handle that. So imagine your confidence when you start supporting yourself. For the past few months, YouTube has really helped me. YouTube has helped me immensely with gaining more confidence in myself. I can see videos of me when I first started. I'm kind of mousy and I'm kind of quiet and whatever. And now I'm I feel like I'm in my element. I'm still working on making direct eye contact with the camera and being able to speak my mind a little bit better, but I am more confident in myself off the camera too. I'm starting to like the way I look and have less anxiety about things. And I will contribute some of this. I do have to say, the relationship that I got out of 3 months ago, I think has also contributed to some of that confidence, because I reflected a lot with my therapist and I don't think I ever felt secure and safe in that relationship. And that reflected my self-worth and my confidence. I was always questioning if I was good enough, or because
this be nice. I'm finding it. It take you that long to find it? It does.
Because my partner was not compatible with what I was looking for, and I don't think I was compatible with what they were looking for. So now that I'm out of that relationship, it's sad to say, but That's all I'll speak on that. I don't want to get into all that because that could be a whole season of my podcast episode, a whole season of YouTube episodes. All I will say is I do feel much better at the end of the day. And I'm so happy that my confidence has come back because I missed that. I used to be pretty confident in myself a few years ago, and it just vanished. Wonder where it went. Wonder why it went away. No shade. When you gain confidence in yourself, you will never have to rely on external validations when you love and support yourself so much. Something I'm scared about is I feel confident now, but what if I get into a relationship in the future and my confidence goes away again because my partner and I aren't compatible? But then I think, well, now I'm set up for setting boundaries and recognizing patterns in my partner that I just don't agree with and aren't going to be agreeable with me long term. And, stepping away and say, that's not what I'm looking for. And so I'm way more set up for the future now. And so I'm glad I had that experience to be able to say that now. Also, surrounding yourself with people who don't speak critically or negative about themselves. I think this is incredibly important, who you welcome into your circle, welcome into your energy. And if there's negative and toxic energy surrounding you, you are going to consume that. You are going to shift into that person. And you really don't want to do that. Isn't there like a saying where you like are the top 5 people who you're around, like you become them or you become like a collection of them, whatever it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But I mean, that's true. If you hang around individuals who are toxic and who have a negative mindset, like, first of all, that's so draining on yourself, on your spirit, and their own projections of their self-worth can also project onto you, and you can feed off of that. And that's just, nobody likes that. Let's not do that, please. So I'm making sure to be mindful of who I'm surrounding myself with. And that's hard because I do live at home with my parents right now. And I would like to be able to be on my own and start my own life and be around my own circle. I love my family, but sometimes there are things we don't agree on, and that's fine. But there are things that it's just too hard to be around and not be agreeable. So I don't know if that made any sense. If you know, you know. I would love to have my own space. Unfortunately, that is not something that I have right now, but working up to it, paying off debts first and getting that all settled. And then once I'm debt free, moving. I have a few places in mind that I'd like to move to, and maybe I'll wait for another video to talk about that. But yeah, so making sure you're surrounding yourself with people who talk kindly to themselves and talk kindly to you and to others. I've had friends in the past who gave off very toxic jealousy like vibes, and they just made me feel so bad about myself. They made me so anxious too. And I'm like, I don't need that type of energy in my life. They made me question my self-worth a lot and made me question if I was deserving of good friendships and love. But now I know that I am. So yay. Thank you. You also got to stop beating yourself up from small mistakes. It's really not that serious. It really isn't. I get random thoughts sometimes of like, damn, we are really on a floating rock. We're just floating in this vast open space, and we die. We die at the end of this. So it really isn't that serious. Like, yes, I know there's problems in the world, and there's bad things that happen, and those are serious. But when you think about how small we are in the universe and how short life can be, those super huge problems that we will never ever get over suddenly don't seem so big anymore. That's kind of how I'm choosing to live life right now, is believing in myself and, making mistakes, welcoming those mistakes, because it means I'm constantly learning and constantly growing and living my life the way I want to and supporting myself all the way through it. Nobody can support you more than you can support yourself. I believe that. I really do. When you take control of your own fate, of your own life, your support and love for yourself, once that's taken care of internally, think of all the external factors that are going to change and how your reality is going to shift into this beautiful, beautiful life full of abundance, full of health, full of wellness and beauty. That is a life that I am excited to live. I hope that you were able to take something from this video. 2025 is the year where we stop bullying ourselves. Stop it. Stop it. Thank you guys for the constant support and love. I enjoy your guys' comments. I do read them and I comment back, and it means a whole lot to me to know that y'all can take something from my videos and they resonate with you. It really warms my heart, and it's the reason that I keep going with this. So thank you. And as a last little message, I just want to say you are deserving of love. You are deserving of beautiful opportunities and good things. The only person stopping you is you. Bye.